Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be talking about homeownership. Well, more specifically, this new service called Houmify that claims it can completely change how we manage our homes. We've got their pitch and some market data, even a look at their tech. So, should we take a look?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Okay, so right away, I'm struck by the market Houmify is going after. It's
It
huge.
really is. I mean, think about it. 85 million homeowners in the U.S. and something like 5 million real estate transactions every year. That's a massive potential customer base right there.
85 million. Wow. I guess that makes sense when you think about how much homeownership impacts our lives financially. And I don't just mean paying the mortgage.
Exactly. Houmify really emphasizes this whole idea of your home being this valuable asset. But like any other asset, it needs upkeep. They say the average homeowner spends about 1% of their home's value on maintenance every single year. That's basically a whole extra month's rent just to keep things running smoothly.
It adds up fast. No wonder they're saying it's a $300 billion market. But Homeify claims that basically homeowners are getting a bad deal, that the current market is outdated, all fragmented and stuff. They even say there's no good service out there right now. Is that really true?
Well, that's definitely a bold statement. It's true that navigating home services can be a pain, right? Contractors, specialists, everyone with their own pricing, scheduling, it's a lot. But to say there's absolutely no good service might be, a bit of an exaggeration.
Yeah, I can see that. I've used some websites and apps to find contractors, even if they don't do everything.
Exactly. So while there's definitely room for improvement, making things easier, more transparent, it's more about Homify tapping into this feeling of being overwhelmed and offering a solution. But the real question is, can they actually deliver on that?
And it's not just about finding a plumber when your sink explodes, right? Houmify's pitch really focuses on the financial side of homeownership too. They say 78% of homeowners didn't refinance their mortgages last year, potentially missing out on saving $500 a month. If that's true, that's, well, a lot of money.
Absolutely. And it highlights how homeowners often miss out on other benefits, too. Tax breaks, or maybe it's the best time to renovate for a good return. It's a lot to juggle.
So it's not just finding services, it's like financial strategy for your home. Okay, now my head's spinning. How does Houmify actually do all this? They mentioned this platform even have a diagram.
Yeah, the diagram's interesting. You're definitely aiming for a system that's super personalized, very data-driven. It starts with info from the homeowners, the basics, like property details, mortgage stuff, but then it gets really granular. They even mention using your Spotify and Netflix preferences.
Wait, Spotify, Netflix, what do those have to do with my house?
It's all about the AI and algorithms. They're analyzing what you watch, what music you like, to figure out your lifestyle, maybe your design taste, even predict what home improvements you'd want.
So those, you might also like things, but instead of a new show, it's like, get a new kitchen. That's wild. But how does that actually work
I've
technically?
got these three core functions: the hire assistant, the knowledge assistant, and, get this, the smart suggest. Each uses AI in a different way. The hire assistant uses AI and this thing called recommendation engine tech to find the perfect service providers for what you need.
Okay, that makes sense. Like those apps for dog walkers, but for home stuff.
Exactly. Then there's the knowledge assistant. It uses those large language models, LLMs, everyone's talking about those, and this thing called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, basically can answer any question about your house, drawing on this huge database.
So if I'm like, what are the rules for building a deck in my town? I just ask it.
Exactly. And finally, the smart suggest. This seems to be their big differentiator. It tells you what you should do. Refinance when rates are good, remind you to clean the gutters, even suggests eco-friendly upgrades based on how much energy you use.
It's like a personal assistant for your house. That's a lot of responsibility for an algorithm.
Right. And that's where it gets really interesting because, that level of personalization, being proactive like that,
Yeah.
even with the best AI, that's tough to pull off. So the question is, how realistic are these scenarios they're giving? Can they actually do this for millions of homeowners? And is handing over control to an algorithm, even one that's supposed to make things easier, a good idea? We'll get into all of that right after this.
Okay, so they've got the super smart AI, but what does that actually look like, in the real world? Algorithms are one thing, but show me the money.
Well, Houmify actually gives some real-world examples in their pitch, showing how it would work.
Oh, perfect. Let's hear it.
So one example is a homeowner who's thinking about building an ADU, one of those backyard cottages.
Yeah. Everyone's got them these days.
Right. It's a perfect example for Houmify because deciding on an ADU, It's not just, do I have the space?
Hmm.
There's permits, zoning, the cost, how it impacts your property
Way
value.
more complicated than it seems.
Exactly. So Houmify's idea is the platform gets all the data. Your property, the local laws, even your finances, and how soon you want this done. Then it tells you if it's even doable and walks you through it.
So I don't have to spend hours researching or going to different places for permits and stuff.
Exactly. And it's not just ADUs. They talk about refinancing, which we mentioned earlier. This shows off that smart suggest thing they do.
Right. They're not waiting for me to ask. They're watching rates and telling me when it's a good time.
Exactly, like your own personal mortgage advisor.
Okay, that part is tempting, I gotta admit. What else?
They have scenarios for everything. Hiring a handyman, finding out about solar power incentives, even reminders to clean your gutters or, get your AC checked.
It's like they thought of everything a homeowner might need, but it's all like very personalized, very convenient. They do the work, the finding people, scheduling, all the stuff most of us hate.
Exactly. Which brings us to the big question. How do they make money? This can't be free.
Yeah, no such thing as a free house cleaning AI. What's their business model?
Lead generation and referral fees, basically. They get paid for connecting homeowners with the right people. They're projecting $593 million in revenue, with most coming from real estate and home service referrals.
That's a lot of referrals. They need a lot of people using this thing.
Absolutely. That's where their estimated lifetime value, LTV, of a homeowner comes in. They're saying each homeowner using the platform is worth about $33,800 over 25 years.
Okay, that's a big number. But like you said, it depends on people trusting them with, well, their whole house, basically. Which, I don't know about you, but trusting an algorithm with that much, that's a big leap.
It is a big leap, and it raises questions for all of us. As tech gets more powerful, like with this AI, are there some things, like our homes, that are just too personal to hand over, even if it makes life easier?
It's something to think about, that's for sure. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive into Houmify. Thanks for joining us.